Now I would like to welcome to the stage someone who has created her own norms. She values individuality and diversity. Please give a round of applause for Mia Suissa.
Hello. What is the real meaning of love? We think we understand love. We think we know what love is because it's in our hearts. We can feel it. But of all the things we may know and feel about love, maybe this is the biggest. We all know that loving means giving. If you love your wife, then be a giving husband. If you love your students, then be a giving teacher. If you love your children, then be a giving parent. And if you love people, then be a giving person. Go to Skid Row and give to the homeless. Go to a fundraiser and give to your favorite charity. Go to your mother and give her a great birthday gift. This is what we are taught from our earliest years. Loving means giving. And I get that. It makes sense. If I love you, I want to give to you. So why am I here to challenge this big accepted truth? What can I say that will make you look at love differently? So over the next few minutes, I will share with you guys a personal story that has made me look at love differently. It's a sweet little story that has helped me discover an expression of love that goes even deeper than just giving. But before I tell you all what that expression is, let's go back to Skid Row. We're now in the summer of 2013, and I'm volunteering at a women's homeless shelter in downtown Los Angeles. My father would drop me off every morning on his way to work, and like a good parent, show off to all of his friends, I just dropped my daughter off to volunteer on Skid Row. I guess he was proud of me because I was giving my time to the homeless, and I was proud of myself too because I was doing a good deed. One of my activities at the shelter that summer was to teach jewelry design. I had started a business designing accessories myself, so I was already very in tune with that whole world. I was there to teach and give over what I knew. On that day, there were about 6 or 7 women around a table, and specifically I was teaching about earrings. Everything was going as planned. The women were engaged and appreciative for my presence. But there was one woman sitting next to me named Gloria, and she was doing her own thing. She wasn't necessarily following instructions, but that didn't really bother me, because after all, this was just a homeless shelter. But after a while, I noticed something. Gloria had been doing something completely different. She had been mixing beads and patterns and colors in a way that I had never seen before. So, of course, I said to her, "Wow, Gloria, that's really neat. I've never seen that before." And then I blurted out the magic words. "You taught me something." There was a surprised look on her face. It had a little sparkle in it. It was a look of bashful pride. It was a look that didn't say, "Thank you, Mia, for teaching me," but rather, "Thank you, Mia, for allowing me to teach you." And that was the magic moment when I began to realize how much love can in fact go much deeper than just giving. Here was a woman who was so used to feeling helpless and needless and useless, a woman who believed she had nothing to give, a woman who thought she could only take. And then in one instant, this woman felt needed, felt useful. Why? Because I stopped giving and started receiving. In this moment, what I really did for Gloria was show her my deepest love. It was a love that gave her the deepest gift, the gift of feeling needed, the gift of feeling the joy of giving. This is my dream for the world. It turns out that psychologists have been exploring this very idea for many years now. And in an essay I stumbled upon titled, "Why is it so hard to receive?" Dr. John Amodio, a San Francisco psychologist, lists 5 reasons. 1, we put up a defense against intimacy. Receiving creates a moment of connection. And people who prioritize giving over receiving may be conveniently trying to keep people distant. And this distance is a comfort zone for many, especially those who have yet to form a relationship with themselves. 2, when we give, we are in control. But when we receive, we let go of control completely. So yes, it's easier to offer a kind word to someone or buy someone a gift. But can we truly allow ourselves to surrender to the good feeling of receiving a gift and a compliment? Or even just a suggestion or a warm smile from a stranger who passed by you on the street? 3, we have a fear of strings attached. So if when we were growing up, we only received compliments or gifts when we accomplished something, we may feel that we have to earn every gift or compliment. In other words, if we weren't being accepted for who we are, but rather our achievements, we probably won't feel safe enough now to receive. 4th, we are taught that it is selfish to receive. But the truth is, there is a fine line between a destructive narcissistic entitlement and a healthy narcissistic entitlement. A destructive narcissistic entitlement is believing that you deserve more than others, whereas a healthy narcissistic entitlement is understanding your self-worth. And the truth is here, receiving with appreciation and humility is what keeps us nourished and balanced in life. Finally, it is difficult to receive because we have a self-imposed pressure to reciprocate. You know, if I allow myself to receive from you, do I now owe you something in return? What's the catch here? As Dr. Amodio writes in his article, presuming that gifts or compliments are attempts to control and manipulate us, we are preemptively defending ourselves from any sense of obligation. So as we can see, receiving may be this powerful idea, but it's not easy. So of course, naturally, it makes us uncomfortable. Imagine how uncomfortable it was for me when I received from a homeless woman. But I needed that extreme example on Skid Row to help me understand and appreciate the emotional power of receiving and why it's worth taking that extra effort. I needed to see the bashful pride on Gloria's face. I needed to see a helpless woman feel useful. What I really did for Gloria here, again, was show her my deepest love. It was a love that gave her that deepest gift, that gift of feeling needed, the gift of feeling the joy of giving. And this is my dream for the world. It is a dream where we are no longer afraid to receive from one another, where we make each other feel needed, where a teacher doesn't just teach, but learns from a student, where we go around a dinner table and ask every single person to contribute a story, or even just an idea or a thought, where we ask our grandparents to share stories with us and share their wisdom with us, where a husband doesn't just send his wife flowers, but asks, "Honey, I need your advice. What do you think of this idea?" Where we listen and receive from those we disagree with, where we learn each other's melodies and taste each other's cuisines, where we open our minds and hearts to ideas that make us uncomfortable, where our love of receiving creates a world of happy givers, where everyone can feel needed, even the homeless. And that, for me, is the real meaning of love. Thank you for receiving. Shout out to all my family in Canada watching this right now. Je t'aime.